Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the G35 channel, and today we are going over the top 25 things you need to look for when buying a used G35 Coupe. Before we hop into number one, guys, I just wanted to show you what it's like to drive one of these true Japanese pieces of art. Just the noises it makes and the overall driving experience is worth it to me. No matter how many problems we go over today in the video, guys, this right here beats everything. Just getting into that little VQ, going into third, coming around the corner, it's just so nice, guys. I would not trade this experience for anything. Now let's get straight into number one. Before we go into number one, let me just start off by saying, this is a really reliable car. It's the most fun you can have for the money. Go down in the comments and change my mind if you have a different car. However, this is my only sports car so far in life, and I will go by that statement for a long time. However, guys, there will be common issues if you don't perform proper maintenance. Now, there's nothing gonna be crazy. Like, you're not gonna be driving down the road and you just see a rod shoot to the sky or nothing crazy like that. But there will be some common issues that can become really bad if you don't address them early. All right, guys, straight into number one, it will be your rear trunk struts. Now, as my car's been garage kept most of its life, my struts are fine, but you got to remember, guys, these cars are becoming almost 20 years old now, and those struts will wear out. So if you have a G or you're looking at one, look at that, make sure your struts are okay. If they're not, it's a cheap and easy replacement, but still, it's a convenience factor thing. Just look out for it. And if you're wondering what garage cap has to do with strut life, it's the cold temperatures that get in those struts. The gases in those struts will wear out and fail with different temperatures. So if it's really cold where you live and the next day it's really hot, not good on them, but it is what it is. Number two, guys, will be these door handles. You might say, what's wrong with the door handles? Well, if you look, the insides are made of plastic, and if you have passengers that are impatient and sit there and pull on them, they will break. All right, guys, number three is the window regulators. How do you know those go out, guys? You will get your windows, the classic telltale sign, the windows will go all the way up and halfway back down. You have to take the whole door panel off just to replace them. It's inconvenience factor, but things wear out over time. I'm lucky my car has low miles, 2003, little over 90,000 miles, but I'm lucky I haven't had to do that yet, but when I do, it's gonna be a pain. You guys might be saying, why do they wear out so fast? I don't even use my windows. It's because the frameless design in the door, guys. Watch, when you open the door, the window goes down. You see it? Watch it close. Did you hear it? That right there is what wears them out. And there's nothing you can do about it, because without that, it does not create proper seal. In the car for number four, guys, and that will be the cheap dash material. This is good stuff. This is okay. This right here will scratch so easy, and so does this. Do you see the pitting? Guys, this car has 90,000 miles on it. What is that from? Also, guys, I had to wrap these. Excuse the nastiness. I haven't cleaned my car and the wrinkles. This is the first time I ever did it. I will redo them later. I'll make a video on it as well. But guys, this was completely black. It was supposed to be that color, and it completely wore off from people holding it. Come on. But look out for that. There's nothing you can do about it but replace it, but that will be a common issue. Number five brings us to the back of the car. And guys, if you have a G35, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it is when you refill the car, you can be dead on E. Right? Running on fumes into the gas station. Put about $5 in, boom. Click it, couple more cents, click it, couple more cents. And it's because the venting system in the gas tank goes bad over time, and you can replace it. It's kind of a pain, but you kind of learn just the proper way to hold it so it doesn't build up the pressure, because it's building up pressure and it can't vent out, and it comes all the way back up. And you know how your gas, when you refill at a gas station, when it fills the gas on the nozzle, it's like, okay, stop. Well, that happens because it's not properly venting pressure. Inconvenience factor, yes. Common issue, yes. Test drive it. Go put gas in the car, guys. If you're test driving one of these, go put gas in the car and see if it happens. That brings us to number six, and that will be your rear differential to subframe bushing. For whatever reason, Nissan liquid filled where the bushing was supposed to go. And the telltale sign for this, guys, is when you give it gas and you hear a large thump in the back. So look out for that when you're test driving your used G35. Number 7, guys, is the wearing of the rear tires. I'm not very educated on this. I just kind of, just suck it up and it is what it is. But they will wear slightly more than the fronts on everyday driving. If you do a lot of driving like me, where you go through those curvy back roads and the canyons and the mountains a lot, it's going to be more pronounced. But just look out for that too. That's also one way to tell how your car was treated in its past life. If the past owner did not put new tires on it, look and see which ones are wore out more. Brings us to number 8, guys, and that's the front radius rod bushing. They're notorious for going out on lowered cars, but I was actually in the position where when I bought this car, everything in the front was redone. Lower, upper control arms, all the bushings, so I'm good. But look out for that. Look at your maintenance history from the owner you're about to buy your car from, and yeah. Let's go into number 9. Number 9, guys, will be a mushy clutch or a clutch that gets stuck at the bottom. My recommendation to you, if you're experiencing that problem, is to go with a stainless steel braided clutch line and to thermal wrap it with whatever your choice is. That should solve your problem. That's a weird reflection. I don't have a dent in my car. My car is flawless. Let's go to number 10. Number 10 can be found in the trunk under the spare tire to the left, and that is your factory Bose amplifier. A lot of people have problems with these, and it's because from the factory, the soldering was really, really weak, and it'll lose connection enough to where those low notes, the 6x9s in the back, barely will hit because they're not getting all the current they need. So you can either go aftermarket or go back there and try to fix it yourself. I have not had that problem yet, but I am looking forward to replacing all my speakers and aftermarket amps sometime in the near future. 7, guys, brings us to the inside of the car, and that would be the power seats. They will slow over time, guys, to the point where they will not work anymore. And it's kind of funny, the actual fix for it, which there's tutorials for it, but if it was me, I'd probably just replace the whole thing because I'm not the type to want to do this. Excuse me for the dirtiness, but there's actually a little roller ball in there that gets dirty over time, and if you take all this switch apart and go in there and clean it, apparently that will fix it. It only works on certain people's cars, and it just depends on what went bad, the switch or the motor. Number 12 brings us in the car, guys, and it's the notorious third gear grind. You'll get one or two things. You'll go into third and it'll kick you out, or you'll get a and you'll have to really push it into it. I have this problem on cold days, guys, and it's because this problem is specific to the 2003 to early 2005 models. They added beefed up synchros in the later 2005s all the way to the end of production on these G cars. So when you're test driving, look out for that. There's nothing you can do about it, but just look out for it because it is a common issue. Specifically kept this one for unlucky number 13, and that is your oil burning issues. 03 to 05 has them, not too serious until you get a lot of miles. 06 is the worst year, and 7 and 8, they pretty well fixed it, guys. I do not have oil burning issues, but just ask your previous owner if they do. If they're going to be honest with you, you need to know, because you'll have to add oil every so often to these cars, and it's just a part of having the VQ life. This is number 14, and that's the NAT Security Lockout. How do you know you've been locked out? You stick your key in, you turn it, and you get nothing. It's just cranking. What you got to do to fix that is get your key fob out, lock it, unlock it, lock it, unlock it. Stick the key in and out a couple times. Play with it and eventually find the right combination, and you will be able to get in your car and go. Sometimes your car's just like, hey, you're not the owner. I'm sorry, get out. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why it does it, but that is a common issue. Thank goodness I don't have it. And guys, number 15 will be limp mode. I've experienced this one time in 1.5 to 2 years of ownership. And what I did to fix it is I simply just took the key out, cut it off, waited a couple seconds and put it back in. Some people say you gotta wait 2 minutes. Some people say you gotta wait 5 minutes. Thank goodness all I had to do was cut it on and off. But what happens when you go into limp mode is you go to take off, you let out the clutch, and however you drive, I typically rev up to around 1200 and easily let out. You can clown me for that, but that's just where my car's clutch sweet point is. Anyway, you'll do that, it'll rev up to about 2 grand, and you give it more gas, nothing, and you hammer it to the floor and it just doesn't budge. And it's like, how am I supposed to drive it? You can't, it's limp mode. Just take your key out, wait a few minutes, put it back in, and it will go away. And what actually causes limp mode, guys, is the alternator has a direct link to the transmission, and if you lose power or experience a loss of power from the alternator, it puts the transmission into safety mode. And guys, number 16, my favorite, the guillotine leg hinges. Oh, cheap door hinges, guys. You can replace them, but over time, these doors will not stay open. Number 17 is your trunk space, guys. There's none. Thank goodness the back seats can go down. Some people will take out the little dividers and make more room, but just to prove how tight it is, they have to tell you how to fit 2 golf bags back here. That should not be like that in a coupe, guys, but it is. And just know you're not buying this car to haul around a bunch of junk in your trunk. Brings us to number 18, and that's the oil dipstick reading issues. It's so aggravating. You have a car that burns oil, so obviously you want to check the oil. No, everybody's like, check your oil at the gas station. You can't. This car has to rest for 8 hours before you can get an accurate reading. It's terrible. It is what it is. Know what you're getting into, and there is little remedies. I'll let you search YouTube for them because I'm not going to recommend them because some of them are pretty sketchy. Straight into number 19, and that is your fuel gauge reading below what's actually in your tank, guys. That fuel gauge is about as indecisive as that one ex that you dated for a year and she broke up with you on your 1-year anniversary. Just watch out for that. There is simple fixes. I'll let you go look on YouTube for them. Some of them are sketchy and some of them are legit. Just go do your own research, and just please, when you test drive it, get a 2-for-1 check. Fill it up with gas and see if your gas gauge reads right. Boom. Back to the tires. Guys, it's your front control arms. They're not adjustable, and over time the bushings wear out and it will throw off your alignment and you will wear tires unevenly. Goodness, I don't have to deal with number 21, and number 21 is the gauge cluster. Will fail over time in some cars, and it could just be the lights in some other cars, but look out for it when you test drive it. Test drive it at night, pull it in a parking garage, make sure all the lights on the interior work and don't flicker. Let's go into 22, guys. Brings us to number 22, guys, and that's your oil cooler gasket leaking. Thank goodness that's an easy fix. It's easy to get to, and I wouldn't worry too bad about it, but look underneath the car, look at it, and if you see some oil residue, just know that very well could be a problem. Number 23 brings us to the engine bay, guys, and that's your valve cover gaskets leaking. Everybody knows how to fix them. They're a pain to get to, sort of, kind of. You just got to take, junk off the top, but if you're mechanically inclined, you can do it, and just watch out for it. They'll especially leak in the rear of the engine. Brings us to number 24, and that's your spark plug O-ring gaskets. It allows oil to get up into the spark plug, and it can cause your sparks not to happen. So loss of power, not good. Easily replaced. Just look out for it, guys. When you go to test drive, you will know if you're down on power. Guys, that brings us to number 25, and that's your bad A-pillar seals. My car's been garage kept, but you can see down here, it's still coming off. Look out for it, guys, because that will be a common issue. And that concludes this video on the 25 most common issues of the G35 Coupe. Guys, don't watch this video and be turned away from the G35. In fact, if you want to know why you need to own a G35, click this video right here, and it's the 5 reasons I love my G35 Coupe, and click this video right here, and that video is the top hidden features on the G35 Coupe. If you enjoyed today's video, go down, hit the subscribe button, comment what issues you have, and make sure to hit the like. Until next time, always stay positive.